friends, it is time for story. And today, the book that I chose is called Being a Bee. In this book, the author is Jinny Johnson. So Jinny Johnson's the author. That means that she wrote the words. And the illustrator is Lucy Davy. The illustrator is the person that draws the pictures. All right, before we read our book, let's make sure that our bodies are ready, okay? Everybody put your hands up. Nice job, friends. And we'll sing, open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Place them on your lap, lap, lap. Nice job. Everybody is looking ready for our story, Being a Bee. Oh, has the story started yet? Nope. This is the title page. All right. Now the story has started. It says, bzz, bzz, bzz. It's a sunny summer's day, and bees are busy flying from flower to flower. A bee is a kind of insect. It has 3 pairs of legs, 2 pairs of wings, which move so fast. They move so fast, it makes a buzzing sound. There are thousands of different kinds of bees, but the bees that we are going to talk about in this book are honeybees. The honeybee's hairy body is covered in yellow and black stripes. See the yellow and black stripes? That warn other animals not to get too close. Female bees have a stinger at the end of their body and will use it to defend themselves and their family. It says, watch out, a bee sting can hurt. This page says, meet the family. Honeybees live together in big families called colonies. The colony is a home to the queen bee and as many as 50,000 worker bees. They build the nest, look after the young bees, and gather nectar and pollen from plants. All of the worker bees are female. Female means girls. There's also some male bees in the colony. Here they are. They're working very hard on building their hive, the beehive. Let's see, the queen bee. Oh, this is the queen bee. She's a bit bigger, huh? It says the mother of all the bees in the colony is the queen bee. She is about twice as big as a worker bee. The queen lays all the eggs for the colony. Sometimes she lays as many as 1,000 eggs in a day. Each one sits in its own little part of the nest called the cell. So all the eggs will stay in their own little cell. Inside the nest, wild honeybees make their nests in trees or between rocks, but many bees also nest in boxes called hives, which people build for them. See them right here? Someone built this, and it's a home for the bees to live in. Wooden frames filled with lots of 6-sided wax cells hang down from the top of the hive. There are eggs in some of these cells. Others hold young bees to store food. The bees make the wax from their bodies. A group of wax cells is called a comb. See them? Some of the bees. New bees. Bee eggs hatch into small, wriggly creatures called larvae. It takes 21 days for a larva to grow into an adult bee. At first, the growing bee is fed royal jelly, a rich, sugary food by the worker bees in the nest. Later, it's fed pollen and honey from the colony's food stores. A growing queen bee gets special treatment. She is fed royal jelly the whole time she is growing up, which helps to prepare her for a life of laying eggs. So here's the little ones, the little larvae. First days. When a young bee is fully grown, she leaves the cell she has been living in. There's their little cell, and they're starting to come out. Her first job is to clean it, and the other cells too. It's important that the cells are clean so that they are ready for the next group of larvae, or to store food. So now that they came out, they need to do some cleaning and get it ready for the new larva, or to get ready to put food in it. Working in a hive. You can even see some of the bees right here in this hive. When she is about 3 weeks old, the bee starts a new job. She waits near the entrance of the hive, ready to take pollen and nectar from the other bees flying home who have been collecting it. So these bees, see this guy right here? Collecting some of the pollen in the flowers, and they fly it back. So they're coming back, and the bees will help collect it and bring it into their home. Flying out. When a bee is about 22 days old, she is an adult and ready to gather food. An adult is a grown-up. She does a few short flights to practice flying and to learn to find her way home. Then she flies out into the open air to search for flowers. Why would a bee search for flowers? Why do you guys think? What do the bees collect from the flowers? They collect the nectar and pollen. The bees fly from plant to plant collecting nectar and pollen. Flower pollen is like a yellow dust, and bees carry it in the parts of her back legs called pollen baskets. Nectar is a sweet liquid made by flowers. When the bee finds it, she sucks it up into an extra stomach called a honey sac. So this bee is sucking up some of the nectar right here. See them? This one might be gathering some of the pollen on her back legs. It's pretty cool. Bees are pretty amazing. Dancing bees. When a worker bee finds a patch of flowers full of nectar and pollen, she tells the other bees how to find it. To do this, she does a dance. First, the bee runs around in a circle. Then she cuts across the circle at an angle to show the other bees the direction they should fly in. To tell them how far away the flowers are, she waggles her body. The more she wiggles and waggles, the farther the other bees know they have to go. So they watch her do her little dance so that they can try and figure out where the big flower patch is. Because the bees need to find the flowers to do their important job, right? They need to find those flowers to collect the nectar and the pollen. Flower to flower. Flowering plants need pollen from a flower of the same kind to help new plants grow. Bees can help flowers get pollen. When a bee lands on a flower, its body gets covered in pollen. When it visits the next flower, some of the pollen brushes off and pollinates the plant. So when the bee flies up to the flower to get all the pollen, if it has pollen already on its body, some of that falls off into the flowers, and it helps them to grow. Making honey. I love honey. Bees use nectar to make honey, which they store in the hive until it's time to eat. A lot of work goes into making honey, so it's important for all the bees to work together. It takes about 10 million trips out from the nest to make enough honey to eat, to make 1 jar of honey. Oh my goodness. Have you guys ever tasted honey? It's a very sweet treat. And if you have a jar of honey in your house, it took the bees 10 million trips to make all that honey. That's pretty amazing. Bees have a really special job, huh? Then a new nest. Sometimes a bee colony, the bee colony is where the bees live, it gets too big. When this happens, the queen may leave the nest with other older workers in a big group called a swarm. So a swarm is a lot of bees that are all together. Workers called scouts look for a place to make a new nest. When they have found one, their queen and the other bees join them. So they all go out together and try and find a new place to build a nest. And then this page says beekeeping. You might notice there's some people on these pages with the bees. These are the beekeepers. So these people have bees and they let them do their jobs inside all these hives right here. We need bees to pollinate our plants, and we love the honey that they make. But bees don't need humans. We're humans. Humans are people. Wild bees can build their own nests. We can, though, provide bees with a cozy hive home, and in return, take some of their honey. During the summer months, bees make more honey than what they need. When looking in the hive, a beekeeper must wear protective clothing. So that's clothes that they wear to protect their bodies, to keep their bodies safe. Bees are not dangerous, but they defend their hive. That means they don't want anyone to bother their hive, right? They need to take care of all the other workers in there, right? A beekeeper's job is to look after the bees and watch for any signs of illness, right? And then disturb the hives as little as possible. So the beekeepers don't go in the hives a lot, just a little bit. They make sure that the bees are safe and sound. And then this page says, save the bees. Honeybees are in trouble. There's much less grassland and far fewer wildflower meadows than ever before. So it's harder for bees to gather the nectar and pollen they need. Bees are also harmed by chemicals that farmers spray on their fields to kill other bugs. Now you and your family can help by planting flowers in your garden and leaving wild spaces, or by planting seeds in areas of wasteland to make a bee-friendly space. Buy local honey to support the beekeepers near your home and tell people how important bees are for us. Nice. The end. Now, friends, I know that a lot of you have started to grow some plants at your house. Some of my friends even told me that they planted some sunflower seeds. Do you think when you bring your sunflower plant outside to grow big and tall, do you think maybe some bees will come to it to collect some pollen and nectar? I wonder. You guys will have to keep your I Spy eyes open and look and just watch for some of the insects that will come around. I hope that you liked learning about bees today. But right now, it's time for us to say goodbye. So can everybody get their goodbye hand up? Nice job. And we'll sing, goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Bye, boys and girls. I'll see you a little later.